All right, so today got a different kind of video. Nonetheless, got this new Medford Marauder H the other day. Uh, couldn't wait for the unboxing on it. So if anyone knows about the Medford deal, where they're stopping the sculpting and everything like that, so we'll get into that in a minute. So I've been chasing this one for a while. Hoping they'd come out with one to match my 187. Granted, this one's in Magna Cut, this one's an S90V, but been wanting this configuration, and DLT ended up having it, so I had to jump on it. Now, these are expensive; they're very, very expensive, but you know, I had to sell some knives to get it, and that's fine. That's just how the game goes. But just kind of had to talk about it for a minute. You know, this one's in the Predator sculpting. It's got on the clip, they've got how it's like green right there around it, and then they face it, and then you even got the green and the MKT. Just beautifully done. And then they've just got the raw tumbled finish on the, what would you call that, the spines. And it is Tonto, and man, this thing came so smooth. I mean, the break-in time for Medfords anymore is about an hour. I mean, you know, sometimes I'll tune it myself. This one did not need it at all. I mean, it's just complete hydraulic action on this guy. But I kind of want to talk about, you know, it is, you know, a Marauder H. I'm not going to go into the specs or anything. I mean, maybe here just for a second. So we got about almost 9.5 inches blade, around 4, depending on where you measure, 4.5 cutting edge, 3.7, 3.75 almost. Big knife. I didn't weigh this guy. I don't know if I did on my other one. Come on. There we go. So, is that right? 8.8 ounces. Let's do it compared to the 187, 7.75, and you can tell the difference. Granted, it's, you know, the sculpting takes a little bit off of it. But what I wanted to talk about today is, you know, if you follow Medford knives, you know that Greg announced he's not sculpting anymore, like doing any of the finish. It's all going to be just your standard knives. And, you know, there's plenty of people out there that do knife mods and stuff like that. I understand it from a business standpoint, that I think it's just, for me, I think it comes down to either this takes up too much time to do, and, you know, the excess of cost. But I think it has to do with just him not wanting, you know, it's not his vision for his knives, if that makes sense. You know, he wants a hard use knife. He doesn't need all the fancy stuff on there. I disagree. I love the sculpted ones. I like the regular ones. These are my 3 sculpt. I got 18 Medfords, I think. And these are the ones that I have sculpted. Now, and these all came from Medford like this. I didn't have them sent in or anything. So, you know, it kind of sucks. I mean, there's plenty of Medford stock out there. That's why I didn't order this one because of that. I ordered this one the morning before he announced it, so I'm kind of glad I did, because I really wanted the Marauder, and because I seen one before, maybe earlier this year or last year, but it had like a acid wash finish or something on the blade, which I didn't care for, and it wasn't a Tonto. But you know, there are people out there that do custom anno, custom sculpting. I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's EDC Specialties that offers sculpting that is covered by warranty, and they're having a couple other dealers do it too, so maybe that's what it is. Now, you know, you can say what you want about Greg Medford. I don't agree with everything he said. I don't agree with anything, 100% anything with anybody says. But I love his knives. I love his personality. I'm with him on the politics. For the most part, pretty much, probably 95% of what he says, I'm on the same page. But there again, I work in a shop, you know, and just like he does. So he's, you know, he's not, he talks shop, you know, he doesn't, and that's why people, I guess, I don't know how many knife people are in like a mechanic shop, diesel shop, you name it, that kind of, any kind of trade where you, you know, you just bullshit all day long. And so he's coming out with the Main Street knives. I did order one of those just to try, you know, $200, can't go wrong. American made knife. But I don't know, the way the economy is right now, you know, there's knives just sitting that you could never get before. I mean, that were so hard to get, they're just sitting there. Sometimes even at the you know, what am I trying to say? At the actual manufacturer, you know, Hinder's got knives there. You couldn't, 2 years ago, Hinder's dropped this on the site. I mean, they were gone. XM24, they're still out there. I ended up getting one. Of course, it was after Blade Show, so it was like a special made deal. But the knife world, I mean, you know, you could, for instance, on this one, I had to take a little bit of a hit when I sold the knives that I sold to get this. I mean, you can buy, if you can buy right now almost any $700 to $1,000 knife, depending on, let's just call it an even 800. I've seen $800 knives sit on the secondary market for, you know, weeks for half the cost, and they're brand new. I mean, you know, and it's nobody's, well, it's, you know whose fault it is. Everybody knows whose fault it is. But to have these, the knives that are out, I mean, you can't, unless you're after something you totally want, just like I was with this one. I sold a bunch of shit to acquire it. Now, I mean, I remember when the Stitch came out, the new Ramlock Stitch. Those flew off the shelf. You couldn't find one. I ended up getting one off eBay, which was a dumb idea. But I didn't, you know, I'm just trying to say that everybody's hurting right now. And I don't know, you know, like I said, I'll just jump back into the Medford conversation. You know, it's the sculpting I like. There's some models that I'd rather not have sculpted. You know, it's just personal preference, you know, and I think what a strategy could be, without getting too long into it, is there's a lot of Medford sitting on the shelves, just like there's a lot of other knives sitting on the shelves, and he needs to make new sales orders. So, you know, what's out there needs to sell. You know, the Praetorians, you know, Micro, Genesis, Tie, there's plenty of those out there. So he's just not going to make them anymore. He'll keep making them, I think, but he won't until they start moving. And it's just like everything else. You know, everybody knows that right now everything's down. You can't buy a house unless you're extremely wealthy. Right now you can't hardly afford anything. I'm getting off topic. I kind of just wanted to talk about the sculpting deal and just kind of show this one. I mean, their green anno is just, I don't have words for it. I've never seen green anno work done like this that looks that good. I mean, it's just total badass. But kind of a rant video. It's nothing really specific. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you're a Medford fan, collector, what your thoughts are on it. But that's kind of all I got. Have a good one.